What's going on, guys? I'm Tyler, and I'm here to let you know that Jojo Rabbit is no perfect movie. And it takes place during the last few days of World War II and centers on a Hitler Youth boy named Jojo, who is such a Hitler fanatic and is in complete denial of the situation to the point where Hitler is his imaginary best friend. You know, a cartoonish buffoon who still has the exact same anti-Semitic, racist, and all-around piece of shit qualities that you would expect from Hitler. But his life changes when Jojo discovers that his mother, Scarlett Johansson, has been hiding a Jewish girl named Elsa in their attic. And very slowly over the course of the movie, he begins to question the ideology of Nazism and whether or not it works. Now, for a movie that's simultaneously funny and sad, and sometimes the mood shifts within a split second, what makes it feel unique and fresh and seamless is the cinematography and direction. This is a visually stunning movie to look at despite the very dark setting. Taika Waititi frames a lot of key character moments in these almost portrait-like wide shots that make characters feel small and isolated, because that is one of the main themes of the movie. Every character has something that makes them feel as if they're alone in the world. Like Jojo. He's in the Hitler Youth, but he's physically and emotionally weaker than a lot of the other kids, and when they tease him for it, it enforces this belief that he needs to be a much more bigoted person. His mom, on the other hand, feels as if Germany has completely lost its way and that she needs to help as many people as possible. And of course, this Jewish girl Elsa is so alone in this attic that she's willing to talk to a Nazi kid if it means just taking crap from him and her firing insults back. Roman Thomas Griffin did a really good job playing Jojo. He has a hard thing to do, especially for a child actor, which is realistically portray a kid who is so stubborn and set in his ways that it takes him almost half the movie to achieve the first step in his character arc. And he does fantastic at it, because it takes place during a time period where there was a lot of fear and hatred that could influence just about anybody. And as you can tell from the fact that his imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler, it's clear that there's a lot of hatred and fear and bigotry drilled into his mind. And because there are much more hateful people in his life than loving, you can understand why even when he discovers a secret about his mom who was trying to teach him compassion, he refuses to change his beliefs almost automatically. And it makes sense, considering there's only one of her and so many much more Nazis in Germany. He has a lot of good back and forth banter between Thomas and Mackenzie, who's really good at revealing very slowly a lot of hidden details about her life as well. Some of those key moments are when you don't actually see her. She's either hiding behind a wall or is covering herself in the shadows, so you can hear her but you can't see her, but you can still feel the emotion that she's delivering through her lines. Now, how are the Nazis in this movie? Well, they are so desperate and on such thin ice to the point where they have to teach kids to fight their battles for them, stab people, shoot people, even trick one or two of them into being suicide bombers. They're so inept that they make the simplest misunderstanding from a very straightforward command that it's just so hard not to laugh at these people and root for their pain and misery, and there was a lot of that, thankfully. And I know some people wanted Nazis to be realistically portrayed as what they were, a strong, evil, brutish force out to get us, but I think I know exactly why Waititi portrayed them in such an inept and bumbling fashion. And it's really straightforward. If you portray white power people as strong, evil, and having a willing chance against you, then they're not going to have a problem with that, because real-life white supremacists rule on fear and intimidation. But if you portray them as being dumber than their enemies and showing, we're not afraid of you, come at us, we can take it, we will fight back and we will succeed, that's gonna piss them off. And you know what? Great, have more humor like that in movies and TV and just about any media. It will work. And because these are such highly reputable actors in film and TV, it's clear that I'm not alone in this opinion, and that it's not even a minority opinion, really. And thankfully, these actors have such comedic timing and delivery that they're good at being so inept, especially Sam Rockwell as this really cynical Hitler Youth instructor who brings a lot of shitty instructions onto himself, Rebel Wilson has a lot of good one-liners about the blind negative beliefs of Jewish people. She has a lot of stories that are so unrealistic and exaggerated that you just can't help but laugh at her. And of course, Taika Waititi, a Polynesian Jew playing the most famous white power guy in history, he was the funniest part of this movie for sure. Now, before I even saw the trailer, when I first heard of this movie, I was just wondering how much of this is going to be a cartoon and how much of this is going to portray the real-life Hitler. And yes, while there is a lot of visual and verbal comedy where he's casually racist about anything, and you would expect that from the real-life Hitler, because of all the hatred that Jojo has experienced and been taught throughout his childhood, there are moments when Jojo begins to question Nazism to himself, and imaginary Hitler is there to pretty much say what the real-life Hitler would say to this kid, which is to take no prisoners, kill upon request, and sell out anyone who didn't agree with them. And again, it's a nice balance of comedy and drama, and it's why, for all these stone-cold serious war movies that we get, we need more stuff like Great Dictator, The Producers, MASH, Four Lions, movies and shows that make light of the situations that we're in so that we're not always in the dark. The only problem I have with Jojo Rabbit is that for every joke that lands, there's an equal amount that don't, and they work and succeed for pretty much the same reasons. The humor in Jojo Rabbit is not subtle at all, and I wasn't really expecting it to be, but there are some jokes where you didn't need to spell them out at all, really. And side note, Alfie Allen from Game of Thrones is in this movie, and he is really good in the scenes that he's in, but not only does he say like 4 or 5 things, and he's not quiet in like a intriguing or mysterious way, it's more of a we have no lines for you kind of way. He has one of, if not the biggest jokes that you will react to. My audience loved this one misunderstanding that he had, but you could have given him a little bit more to it, because, like, it's Alfie Allen. People will laugh at his pain and suffering. Jojo Rabbit is a unique and fresh comedy that we don't get that many of lately, and it's all thanks to Taika Waititi as a director, writer, as a supporting actor. The other actors that he has in his cast do a really good job. The cinematography, as I said, is beautiful. The editing is really good at making the funny and sad moments seem completely seamless. And I love the German soundtrack of classic songs. Be sure to pay really close attention to which songs they choose. So in the end, I'm going to give Jojo Rabbit a 4 out of 5. Guys, thanks as always for watching, and be sure to let me know in the comments below what you thought of Jojo Rabbit. And be sure to like, subscribe, check out my other reviews at NoPerfectMovie.com. And once again, thank you all very much for watching. Take care.